Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. This podcast proudly presents to you the zero-time tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg, JJ Brownlee, the Badass, JB Faulkner, Total Spotfest Live, with the ninth wonder of the world, Nick.
And welcome back to Total Spotfest Live. I am JJ Brownlee. With me on this most special occasion is my esteemed co-host, Mr. Jamie Faulkner.
It's takeover time!
Yay! Rejoice, because takeover is here. I promise you guys I will not sing every time. All right. We are accompanied by a very special person. Yes, we have the man. We found out this is the person who indeed let the dogs out. It is the ninth wonder of the world, Nick.
Gotta let him out once in a while, otherwise the house gets messy.
Yeah, you're with your dogs, absolutely. He's got two boxers that are very active. Let's just put it that way. So, thank you guys for joining us. This is our NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver special. Break it out of the norm a little bit. We like to do this for the big takeovers. We're going to be doing this as well for WrestleMania. And something a little bit different about this podcast, if you listen to any of our past pay-per-view podcasts. We made mention before a lot about how we make picks for everything, right? For the pay-per-views and stuff, we make these picks and we kind of go at each other. We actually bought, child replica belts for WWE, NXT, and AEW. We like the marks that we are, share them amongst ourselves for whomever is the champion. Well, that's not stopping, but we're going to bring you in kind of behind the curtain on it. So starting tonight, continuing forward for the big four from WWE, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble. The big takeovers as they come, not the TV takeover, the actual big takeovers. They do what, like 4 or 6 a year, whatever it is, and the major AEW pay-per-views. Which is every AEW pay-per-view. That's what it is. Yeah. They don't have minor ones. So we will be sharing with you guys while we do our reviews what our picks were. We will be keeping a tally. You'll see down below there will be a tally coming along here, and we will have a champion. If need be, there's tiebreakers, but we will have a champion every time, and the belt will be moved. Smack shall be talked. It is a whole thing, and more than likely, Jamie's 14-year-old daughter is going to continue to murder us into infinity.
Yes.
She has all three right now. Is that right? Or
yes. As of right now, I'm coming to you as the advocate for the reigning, defending WWE, NXT, and AEW pay-per-view champion, Megan Faulkner.
She is undisputed, you forgot. But that's not okay. Megan, I'm coming for your gold. I'm going to get it. I don't care if you're a 14-year-old girl. I'm going to take it. All right. That out of context is not good. So, all right. I'm sorry. We're having some fun here. So, thank you guys for joining us. If you are watching on YouTube, we appreciate it. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like if you like what you see here. As we move along into TakeOver Nights 1 and 2, give us a comment as we talk about these matches. Follow us on Twitter as well at Total Spotfest. Excuse me, at Total Spotfest. I threw an in there accidentally. At Total Spotfest on Twitter. And our individual Twitters for Jamie and myself, of course, listed below too. If we have a hot take you really don't agree with, give us a yell. You can't do it to Nick because he's an a-hole who doesn't like to be on social media. So, yep. All right. Well, we're going to get into it. And before we do, I just want to make mention real fast here because they did announce the viewership numbers from this past Wednesday. So we don't know the whole Peacock bit of everything, right? So the streaming services notoriously bad about releasing information about viewership, right? That's one of the big gripes with Netflix going on for years, as you guys know, putting them in for like the Emmys, and everyone's like, well, how many people actually watch this damn show? Well, anywho, so we don't know what night 2 was. We also don't know necessarily if there was a peacock bump on the numbers report here. But Brian Alvarez's final report of the Wednesday Night Wars, because this is the last NXT on Wednesday on USA, is AEW 688,000 viewers, and night one of NXT 768,000. NXT finally won on their last Wednesday night.
80,000 more. Let's go.
Going out with a bang. Didn't get the demo all the way, but they did better. Anywho, that is what happened. And speaking of what happened, Jamie, let's tell them what happened on night one, because this was overall, I'm just going to throw it out there right now, a fantastic couple nights of wrestling. So night one, you take it away. I'll come back. I'll lead us through night two.
Okay. So night one of NXT TakeOver Stand for the first night. We have a great opening match. This is a great thing about takeovers. There's no promos. There's none of that crap. It's just unadulterated, just beautiful wrestling.
So relieving. Oh, my God.
So they open it up with a banger. Pete Dunn versus Kuishida. So Megan, the reigning, defending, undisputed champion, picked Pete Dunn. I picked Pete Dunn. Nick picked Kuishida, and JJ picked Kuishida. So we are completely split, but the House of Faulkner went Dunn. So this match started out hot, just out of the gates. With Kuishida hitting a flying armbar straight off the bat. I mean, that's pretty damn sick. Lots of good back and forth, technical submissions. It had everything you want. When I see Pete Dunn, I kind of get the shades of Bret Hart, the excellence of execution, because of his technical prowess.
That's not a
I see that.
bad. Yeah, I do see that. He's a very Britishized, strong style version of Bret Hart. That's a good. It's a very good analogy.
Because he is so technical and he just does some amazing things. I like me some Pete Dunn. He is just a better spray tan away from being one of my favorite wrestlers.
And a few less words on the mic. A little bit less on the mic. You don't need the mic, Pete. Just back away.
He just needs to use his Batman voice. That's all he needs to do. He's good if he does that.
Can he do a Batman voice? I don't know.
Can I? No.
No, can he?
Probably not.
He's like, I'm Batman. It's probably about as good as he can get.
He could do. You're talking about Batman because of this shirt, I know. But he could do an Alfred voice. We digress. This was technical wrestling porn. That's my main note I had here. If you like technical wrestling, this one gave you a stiffy because oh my God, and here's what I liked about it, because they're both technical in a different way. We talked a lot about this when Dunn was against Balor, right? That they're technical in similar fashions, but this is very opposite of that, but almost as good. Unfortunately, I made the claim last week that this is going to be the steal of the weekend, right? The banger of the weekend.
Oh, that's right. You did.
I did.
You did wrong.
And I own it. I'm come out there. I said that. That was my claim. And my big claim was not correct. Now, that doesn't mean this wasn't a stellar match. If you like technical wrestling, it was great. And Kuishida, it's good that Kuishida is getting more of a push instead of being a guy that shows up once every 3 weeks and does a match against Tyler Russ or some crap, whoever, But overall, this was a great way to get going. The pacing was fantastic because it was very level throughout the whole thing. It wasn't very long though. That was first night. I will say that was one of the things that the matches they had to meet that USA window, so the matches felt a little shorter than they could have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because definitely night two they were not.
Absolutely,
they went. So it ends up, there's so many great moves. The hoverboard lock, that was amazing. Kuishida switched from a switch and attacked the arm with a hoverboard lock off of the ropes. Like, it was a sick move. But it ends up with Pete Dunn hitting his finisher, the what is it called? For the
bitter end.
Bitter end.
Bitter
yes.
end.
Yeah, he hits the bitter end for the pin. I like this match. So
It was good. It was good.
Team
And that's-
Faulkner is out ahead right now, 1-0.
One
Man,
to
hindsight's
zeros.
2020. Man, I felt really dumb when Pete Dunne won. I'm like, of course he did. What the hell did you pick?
Oh,
Kushida for?
I sat there for like 15 minutes looking at my little. We have a little Google Doc where we put all our picks in. I sat there for like 15 minutes on this match alone, just like Dunn, Kuishida, Dunn, Kuishida, Dunn, Kuishida, Dunn. I just kept changing it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth because that's the way the match felt too. It could have gone either way, and Pete Dunne just bam, 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 bitter in done. It's like, all right, but you and Megan get point numero uno.
Yes. So then we go right from that to the North American title Gauntlet Eliminator match, almost as long as the AEW Women's Tournament match.
It was the North American title #1 contender Gauntlet Eliminator match.
Okay, then yes, it might be equal.
It was. I think it was longer than the women's #1 A Japan USA Godzilla versus Kong Eliminator World Cup Championship tournament.
So this match, it featured Leon Ruff as the first participant, Isaiah Swerve Scott as the second participant, and then as any gauntlet goes, the next crew, which it was in third spot was
Bye,
Bronson.
Nick. Bye. Say bye to Nick.
Bye, Nick.
He's back. There we go.
So Bronson Reed was in the third spot, Cameron Grimes fourth, Dexter Loomis was fifth, and LA Knight was sixth. So for this one we were all over the board. So actually we weren't. So
No, we were not. We were
really
definitely
not. So Megan, myself, and Nick, we all picked Dexter Loomis to win this thing. And JJ picked Bronson Reed. He's the only one who's
I'm
different.
the odd man out.
Yes, odd man out, do you say? So the match begins with Isaiah Swerve Scott attacking Leon Ruff before the match even begins, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. So Isaiah Swerve Scott, he kind of stole the show for this
He looked
match.
great. He looked
Well,
fantastic.
I'll take you Isaiah Swerve Scott and raise you as Swerve Scott versus Leon Ruff, the feud that I bitched and moaned about for weeks.
Yeah.
I am into now because they stole the show.
Yeah, they looked
those
great.
those first 3 minutes were just all go, no filler. And
It
was
really
like,
was.
Wow. It was unbelievable. The Swerve, you're right. Swerve was my MVP of this entire match, regardless of who ended up winning, if it was Swerve or not. He was so good.
Mm-hmm. So those two were going at it for a few minutes, just high octane. Like it was just bam, 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 bam. Bronson Reed comes in, big man, muscles down. You know, he does the big man thing. And honestly, to be honest, like I am starting to become more and more of a Bronson Reed fan the more I see him, and I kind of wish I picked him just because how impressive he has been, and he's been on a nice roll.
Is this the fat man you're looking for, Nick?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, all right.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, on AEW, if you guys didn't listen to our AEW review, Nick had said in the past how he wanted the fat men back in wrestling, and there was a thing about Bear Country, and they're like, but these are the fat guys. Like, not the fat guys I'm looking for.
Not the fat
Bronson
guys I'm
Reed is
looking
that
for.
fat man you're looking for.
Yes. So he comes in, he gets the high flyers down with a double German suplex, which was pretty damn
A tower German suplex. That thing was unbelievably good looking.
Yeah. Then Cameron Grimes hits. Who gives a shit? But he actually looked.
The
he
crowd
looked good.
the crowd in the Capitol Wrestling Center gave a shit. If you notice, he actually got the biggest pop on any entrance.
It was fake pop.
Yeah, the people who paid tickets, cheering for the person
all
they like.
six of them.
Fake,
all
apparently.
6 of them are Cameron
Hey,
Grimes fans.
real quick, I just got to say, we
Stop
mentioned this
hating. It's okay.
Jamie and I agreed on this the other night, so I just have to say before we move forward, immediately when his music hit, I was so annoyed. Just immediately. And so, yes. Okay, that's
what's supposed to. Okay, I don't want to dwell on this. All I gotta say is, wrestling is characters are supposed to give you a reaction,
Point
a
taken.
sharp reaction, and utter hatred is a reaction. I've had plenty of people who you like. We've talked about one of them, the overrated guy from Chicago, that I could give a flying F about. And I feel the same way. But that's a reaction, you know? So it's fine if you guys can't stand his
Say his
guts.
name.
That's kind of his point.
Say his name, JJ.
I don't know his name. He's some schmuck who gets his ass kicked in UFC. Who cares?
Okay.
Anywho, go
Brock
ahead, Jamie. I'm
Lesnar?
sorry.
Are you talking about Brock Lesnar?
Oh, no, brother was actually a champion in UFC. Yeah.
He didn't serve it. Anyway, Cameron Grimes and Swerve Scott form an alliance after Grimes
An
pays him
alliance.
off.
He bought his ass.
Dude, okay, like, I swear, Grimes is very close to getting X-Pac heat for me. Like, it's just... He's got
Close
some-
to?
Okay.
He's close to? He's not fucking there? Jesus Christ.
He's almost there, but I just his voice. Anyway, so they were
Match. Get with
Yeah.
the match. Let's get back to the match. Come on. You
okay.
got it.
Anyway, so they're working against Ruff and Reed. Ruff uses some awesome acrobatics to escape Grimes's clutches. But they can't both outrun, get caught by a suplex by Scott. There's some good moves. At this point, Loomis comes in, cleans house, including himself, clotheslines himself outside the ring and flies over the ropes. In the process, LA Knight enters as the final competitor at this point. So all men are in. Okay, so let's just start getting to some of the eliminations.
Well, Ruff was eliminated up before LA Knight got in.
That's right, just right before. You are correct.
Right. So I'm sorry. Yes.
So Leon Ruff was the first elimination. Knight scored the second elimination of the bout by pinning Loomis. That surprised the living shit out of me. He was my pick. He was my boy.
He was mine as
And
well.
he was gone quick too. Yeah.
With the
And Megan's.
Yeah.
I'm the only one potentially still alive. We'll see what happens.
So that really, then Loomis had the silence choke on Grimes, but Knight was able to, Knight rolled in, rolled Loomis mid-submission.
It was
for the
a
pin.
good looking spot. It really was, because Grimes was close to tapping, and then Knight just rolls them both up and pins Loomis in the action. Really good spot.
But then right after that, Knight got eliminated, like damn near right after that. Which
Like immediately, almost
yeah.
immediately after it, and then Loomis pulls him out and does the whatever it's called on him on the outside. So I'm all for that. I like that as a feud moving forward. Loomis and LA Knight. Nick likes it too. I could tell. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, this will probably be the only time that I was upset that Loomis lost, and it was only because I picked him.
Because you picked him. Okay.
He's coming to the side, the Loomis side, which also, by the way, Loomis was doing an interview and he held up a.
Oh no, that's night two. I'll get there. Hold on.
Okay. Was that night two? Sorry, my bad.
That was night two. That was night two.
sorry.
We get our eyes
sorry.
confused, but
sorry.
that's a great spot.
Anybody's
I wanna-
jumping
yeah,
ahead, it'll be
sorry.
me. Thank you
sorry.
very much.
I
Yeah.
scratch that. All right.
Jamie's
anyway,
Jamie's been out all night at Megan's softball tournament, so he's a
and it
little
started
loopy.
raining on us. It sucked, but whatever.
So Loomis is outside, does the thing, and LA Knight's eliminated.
So at
That's where
this
we left
point,
off.
Scott and Grimes laid out Knight. That's when Reed came in, hit a big splash. As Knight rolled out of the ring, Loomis choked him, like you said. Then we got some awesome action in the final three. So the final three were Grimes, Scott, and Bronson Reed. So all three of them are in there. So it ended kind of. I liked it. I mean, what do you think of the ending so far?
I thought the ending was very good. I liked the way it went. Because they kind of kept throwing back throughout the match at times. The whole bit about Grimes, buying Swerve Scott, and they'd team up, but then they'd not be teamed up. And at the end, he's trying to convince him because and it's a logical thing. Anytime you have a battle royal or a multi-man match with a big guy, team up on the big guy. that's the smart thing to do, right? So once again, he's doing it to it's just team up. So they kind of go after him, and then they go in for a pin, and then Scott reverses a roll up on Grimes to pin Grimes to his shocked face, which I'm not mad about at all. As I've said,
I'm pretty happy about it.
It's all about the character. That's the thing. His character should get that. It's the same sort of shtick that, slime balls have gotten over the years. They get turned on by the people that they think they've bought or whatever. So
yeah,
so that and the final two, Scott and Reed, which wow.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that, honestly.
Yeah. So Grime Pac got eliminated. So that left Scott and Reed for the final, and Reed scaled the turnbuckle, and that led to an awesome, absolutely gnarly spot where Scott power slammed the much larger Reed on the corner of the ring. Like, it looked devastating.
It was.
Then he rolled Reed inside and hit his 450 splash for a 2 count, which I thought was amazing. As Scott talks trash, Reed blitzes and hits a barrage of kicks. Reed powered out, but then planted Scott with a power bomb, pinned him. 1, 2, 3, and then hit the power bomb, and then he hit the tsunami. Yep,
big catches him big power bomb in the tsunami, which is was that Tugboat or Earthquake who did that splash from the second rope?
That
was Tugboat, right?
Tugboat.
Yeah, it's basically the same. It's the same thing. Oh, that's right. That was Shockmaster. Nick's all-time favorite.
True story.
But it's that, but it looks better because he's younger and a little bit more athletic than Tugboat was. So, but it's fantastic looking. And who gets the point?
Yeah, JJ on the board. So right now it's you can see all the numbers, but it's Team Faulkner with 1 and now JJ with 1.
1-1-1-1-1 a 0.
All right, so now we get to another banger. Like, this is his banger alert. This is his call for what it is. Walter versus Ciampa.
Dude, this match was my surprise. Yeah. I would call this my favorite of the night or of the weekend, but this is the match that surprised the living crap out of me more than any match.
For sure.
Because I did not expect this to be this good. Spoiler,
me either.
It was fan-frickin-tastic.
Yeah, like, it could be a 5-star match. Like, it was that good. But all of us went with the safe pick and picked Walter to win this. So it was a clean sweep for us on everybody picking Walter. So will we get on the board? Let's find out, shall we? So let's just get into it. Just no big surprises. We said it was amazing. It was phenomenal. So at the beginning of the bout, the two brawled outside, and Walter tried to slap Ciampa while the latter, I can't talk. While Ciampa was on the announce table. Jesus, Jamie.
I'm here for the assist. I got you, buddy. You're good. Go.
He was on the announce table, and he was going for a big chop, and then Ciampa moved, and he hurt his hand.
He slapped through. He split the top, but here's my thing with that, okay, because they kept going back and showing the top, and it's so obvious that it was a...
Dude, thank you, JJ.
I mean...
It looked like Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny.
I know, it's like diagonal, cut across the thing. That was so cleanly cut.
It was like if you bought a toy.
I know.
Yeah, that's
it was like the old WWE. Remember the old WWE play sets where they had like the things that they spring up and the tables that would break in half, but they'd be all jagged. It looked like that. But I mean, if they just didn't show the table at all, that'd be fine because it looked great when it happened. And then, of course, Walter sold the shit out of his hand for the rest of the match.
The rest of the match.
So
he struggled
hard
to use his arm and his hand, selling the fact
hard.
that he injured himself. So good. So good. I love it when guys sell. Like, we just talked about that last week. When guys sell an injury, or women, who doesn't matter, wrestlers sell an injury, it just makes it so much better for the storytelling. Like, it just makes the match that much better.
Especially when it's a big guy. Because the big guy to be believable, he's got to have something, happen to him, like a big hulking behemoth. If he just goes out there and you can't just go straight up if you're like 2/3 the size of him. But if you get that injury, it makes it believable. So, and Walter's just one of the best in the world. Let's call it as it is. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Period.
So the end of the match, it gets to, because Ciampa was able to exploit for a while the fact that he had an injury, but it only lasted for so long. Like, it just, you knew it was bound and determined to change.
Right.
So after an exchange of chest slaps, which, Jesus. Walter,
but if I can, I just want to interject real fast.
Mm-hmm.
I would pay good money to see a Walter versus Pentagon chest slap off. Just saying.
Ooh. Yeah. I wonder how hard his chest slaps are, because he must have this a hand the size of like those foam hands.
You know he's holding back, though. You know he's holding back as big as he is. If he really chops somebody, it'd break the rib cage.
I saw a thing on Twitter today, it would be Friday for those of you watching. But there was a thing on Twitter of him when he was pre-NXT, when he was in the Indies over in England still, I think. And it was like a little tiny ass ring, Yeah. And he chopped this guy. It sounded like a tree snapping in half. It was that loud. And this guy just, I don't think he sold either. He just straight up flipped backwards in half. And the whole crowd was just like stunned, jaws dropped, because this is the loudest chop I've ever heard. No sell at all needed. It was unbelievable. But his chops.
Yeah, so he hit like tons of chest exchange on chest slaps. Walter then blasted Ciampa with 2 wicked power bombs, and then hit a dragon suplex, and then hit a huge knife edge chop to the chest to score the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Walter retains. So all of us are on the board now. Congratulations, Nick. Way to get on the board.
Hey, man, on this match, for real, though, there was, about 10 minutes into it, I'm like, maybe I should have gone with Ciampa. Like, that's how this match was.
There were so many matches on both these nights TakeOver that were like that. I mean, we already said Pete Dunne and, Kuishida. This is another one. The one right after this is another one. I mean, that's good booking.
It is good booking.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown, Raw, take fucking notes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, my recap is not doing this match any justice, but it was an absolutely amazing match. And if you have not had a chance to watch it, take the opportunity. Spend 20 minute match, 20 minutes of just pure chest slapping bliss.
Yeah, I think Wrestling Observer gave it 4.5, if I'm not remember.
A lot of them are 4.5 to 4.75.
There was 2 4 3/4 star matches, and then there's a few lower than that. But this one here, every bit of 4.5 stars. It was aces.
Yes, everybody knows you don't bet against an ace. So all right, here we go. Next up is the NXT vacant tag team title match, a trio. It's not a trios match, but a triple threat match, if you will.
Triple threat.
Yeah. So we have MSK, we have Legado del Fantasma, and we have the diaper duo, the Grizzly Young Veterans.
It's really only the one that has the diapers, but still, either good enough.
Yeah. The ambiguously diaper duo. So
terrible mic skills.
Yeah. Anyway, so on this one, MSK, all of us picked him. Is another clean sweep. All of us predicted MSK to get the win. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. We were right. So it was a good match.
Legado del Fantasma looked great.
Yeah.
They were the ones. I mean MSK. They're the new champions, right? Which we all saw we all saw coming. But Legado and Fantasma, I think, showed up the most in this. Grizzled Young Veterans did about the same as they always do, and they're very good wrestlers. They did a stupid Doomsday device where guy was on the floor, Diaper Boy was on the floor with one of Legado's men. I can't remember which one. I think it was Joaquin on his shoulders, and the other guy ran up the ramp. Now the ramp they had that elevated ramp for Takeover where it goes right up to the rim to the ring. So AEW does that all the time. Impact used to do that every day. But so he ran up to the entrance where there's a giant skull in swords, right, in the entrance. And he's ran down the ramp, and then they did a Doomsday device onto the guy on the floor. And that looked great. So Grizzled Young Veterans looked the part. They almost had a double tap out on MSK. They had double finish, submission moves, and Wesley was gonna tap, and the other one, the white guy, I don't remember his name. Nobody? Okay. No, yeah, the other guy.
Gibson.
Zach Gibson.
No. Zach Gibson is.
No, he's on Grizzled Young Veterans.
Yeah. Damn. Oh,
keep looking it up. He stops his hand from hitting the mat and prevents him from tapping, and then they kind of bro up. And,
Nash Carter.
Nash Carter. Yeah. So Nash and West, they bro up and they get it there, and then the guy saves them. So Grizzled Young Veterans, like we said, their wrestling ability is great. We can't fault them for that. Their look is diaperific, and goddamn those mic skills makes me just nails on a chalkboard.
So for you, that's Cameron Grimes to me, man. So
you
feel my pain. You feel my pain.
I don't loathe them like you loathe Cameron Grimes, because I can appreciate how good they are as wrestlers.
I mean, I do. And Cameron Grimes did show out. I'm not okay. I'll give him a little bit.
You know me in Spanish flies, and he does a standing Spanish fly that I love seeing that, because not many people can do that move. And he does it. But Grizzled Young Veterans, like I said, I can't stand their mic skills. It's not X-Pac heat, but I can't stand it until they get in the ring, and then I like them. It's one of those things. It's just like, whatever.
So MSK, for one of their big highlights, they did their flippy pushy thing.
That needs a name, right?
Yeah.
That really needs a name.
So I want to call it the Rascal Push.
Works for me.
Ooh. Well, it works for me too, but they'll never do that.
No, they won't let it. They'll have to do a Matt Hardy and wait out and buy the rights.
Yeah. So it won't be Rascal, it'll be Wascal with a W instead of broken like Woken.
Right.
If they do that, I actually would love that if they called it that. That's fantastic.
That would be good.
Call it the Wascally Wabbit.
I love that move. It's one thing that I never seen it before. Then I saw it. I go, did I really just see that? And then I was like, you don't know if it's any good. And then the more you see it, you're like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. But so like we said, MSK wins. For some odd reason, I found this kind of funny that NXT said much deserved, long overdue. Bro, they haven't even been in the company.
Yeah, they've been around
6
for
months.
2 months?
Yeah. I mean, 3 months. If you they basically got announced right before the Dusty Classic, the Dusty Cup.
Right, like a week or two before.
Dude, whoever said that probably just got stuck in their word tracks and just said something without thinking. I bet you.
Well, I think not to make assumptions, but my guess is because they were supposed to, as part of the Dusty Cup challenge for the titles right away. It was even announced, but they had an injury, so they had to kayfabe an injury as well to get them out of that match. And then the people that were going to challenge had an injury or they had to vacate. So maybe that's probably what they were insinuating, but yeah, that's bad. That's not right at all. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
whatever.
They must have borrowed somebody from WWE to help.
Was that Vic Joseph? That was Vic who said that, right? That had to be Vic.
Probably. All right. So main event time for night one, and it's Raquel Gonzalez going against one of our personal favorites, Io Shirai. And this pained me, but I knew in my heart of hearts that Raquel Gonzalez was gonna win, and unfortunately, all of us did too.
We all picked it.
It was time. Like, I feel like all of us knew it was time. You know, it was like in Old Yeller. You know, it was time.
It's like when Shawn Michaels fought Ric Flair at the retirement match. And Ric Flair's Old Yeller, and Shawn Michaels had to put him out of his misery.
I'm sorry.
Everybody saw it coming from weeks away. Yeah. I don't know if did we just spoil the match, I think?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just say it.
We did, yeah.
I mean, it like we said, Old Yeller was unfortunately put down. And it's sad we're calling Io Shirai Old Yeller because she's fantastic. We love her. But the thing is, okay, so I'm going to get into the match here in a second, but I do want to call out that after the match, she, bowed, thanked the fans, everything like that. It almost
after it was off TV.
After it was off TV, yes. So it feels like it was an NXT goodbye because usually talent will do that when they're done on NXT.
Okay. Usually. Now, I actually read something today, an interview with Triple H specifically about that. I can't remember. I think it was Rosenberg, or I can't remember who it was but somebody did an interview with Triple H specifically to ask about that. And he said, and I don't have it pulled up in front of me right now, but for the most part, so this isn't verbatim, but pretty much what he said is that Io has earned the right to do whatever the hell she wants. If she wants to take some time off, she can take some time off. If she wants to do that, she wants to do that. Just because somebody loses the title doesn't mean they have to leave. It's the most ridiculous thing. It only happens in NXT. Throughout the world, people lose the titles, and you don't go, well, it's good seeing them here in this promotion. They're gone forever. They move on to other things. They do other Furies. They can go back against the title again. They take some time off for personal, So he is selling it like it's up in the air. It sure did feel, if you watch that clip on Twitter or WWE.com or wherever, it sure did feel like a goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
I hope not.
So do I, because if she goes to the main roster, we all know exactly what the hell's going on.
Kairi Sane 2.0.
Oh, which would be terrible. Even though Kairi Sane, when she did go up there and did go for that transformation, I mean, I was not opposed to it because.
Well, I didn't like her character originally, but beside the point, Io Shirai, and I'm going to make this claim unapologetically, is the best female wrestler in the world. Period. That's my statement. Disagree with me if you want. Give me a tweet. Give me a comment below. Whatever. Best female wrestler in the world. One of the top 10 wrestlers, period, in the world by far.
So you're saying she's the CM Punk of the women's wrestling? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. She's a good and a quality champion of women's wrestling is what I'm saying. She's more like a John Cena of wrestling.
But we can see her.
I only did that to get under Nick's skin because Nick is such a John Cena fanboy. All right, let's stop doing softballs at each other. You have softball tomorrow with your daughter.
Dude, I got douche chills when you said that.
Douche chills.
I did too. When he said CM Punk, I did too. No, okay, stop it. We're gonna stop attacking each other, guys. Stop it. No, but anyway, I don't know. It felt like a goodbye, but Triple H is trying to sell it like it's not. I hope she just takes some time off, and we'll see what happens. Let's see.
So Raquel Gonzalez, yes, does in fact beat Io Shirai to end Io Shirai's 305-day reign as champion. It's the third longest reign ever for that title, and that's quite impressive. And they've had some amazing champions.
So who we got? Asuka and who else?
Shayna Baszler.
Of course.
Shayna has the longest, right? Or is Asuka still the longest?
No, Shayna dethroned her and made a big
Shayna
stink
then
about
Asuka.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 out of 3 are Japanese women. I'm just gonna throw that out. Okay, just saying.
Dude, I'm not for nothing. They tend to be the best, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have better development.
Whatever it is, they're doing it right.
U.S. women, it's all because the perception is based on what has happened in the past. Big boobs, blonde hair. Whereas Japanese wrestling is more about the characters
and the art.
Right.
True story.
It's a different type of wrestling.
Yes.
Points.
Joshi. Yes. So
Hi Maki Ito. Sorry.
We miss you, Maki. So anyway, I'm just gonna go for the big spot of the night on this one, just because it just chills. Because you can watch it anywhere on Twitter, everywhere, YouTube. So as JJ called out before, there is a giant skull at the entrance. So I think we all know exactly where this is heading. Because if there is a giant apparatus of any type, as JJ has also said before, Io's gonna climb it. She gives.
She want to jump off it.
Zero
Why not?
Fs. She's just like, okay. And legit jumped, did a flying. What's that move called again?
Cross body.
Nick, what's that move?
The cross body.
Say it with us. Cross.
A cross
body.
body.
Look, man,
across
just
the
because
body.
Io Shirai did a cross body, I mean, she could have done anything off of there, you know. You jump off a skull, you could just, do like a little judo chop, and it would still look cool.
Yeah,
You don't
but not
gotta-
as cool as a cross
I
body,
know,
bro.
I know you guys are, you like your cross bodies. It's okay,
So she
Let's
does
say
an
the-
awesome
Nick beat.
flying crossbody onto Raquel, into the entrance area. This match was really good.
It was short.
It was short. It was way
It
shorter than
was
it really
right
needed
under is right around 16 minutes total, which once again, and from what I read is that they had to cut down this match specifically, but they did it for a few, but they had to cut down this match because of the whole USA thing, because they had a time cap. It's not going to be a problem in the future, and it wasn't a problem on night 2, but this should have been a 35-minute banger. It really should have, but it still was great.
It was a great match. So I'm also naming a move again. I've came up with a good name for this one. So
For Raquel's finisher? or
Raquel's
what?
one
Okay.
arm power bomb. So at first I was like choke bomb, but they already do choke bombs like with a 2-hand choke bomb. So I'm dubbing it the Gonzo bomb, because of her name. So yeah, I'm on fire with the names, bro.
Okay.
Like
that one I like. That one I'll take. Yeah.
yeah. So the
Yeah,
Gonzo
that's
bomb.
good.
So she hits her with the Gonzo bomb. Inside the ring, 1, 2, 3. We have a winner. Raquel Gonzalez is your new women's NXT champion.
And they did it right. I mean, Dakota Kai
Yeah, it
got
was
kicked out of the match early, so there was no funny business going on there. There's just so much good stuff. The two of them, and you want to give a lot of credit to Io Shirai, but because she is who she is. I made my claim about her minutes ago, right? But Raquel Gonzalez just goes to show you that there's still really good talent, and the way that they produce this talent coming up through NXT's Performance Center gives you more hope. Now, the cynic in all of us is going to say the second they leave that building and go to Tampa, it's going to turn to shit, right? But there's still more behind it. So Triple H, HBK, everybody involved there. There's another person they took it in, from the ground up, and she's got a great future. She really does. So, kudos, congratulations. It was kind of obvious when you think about it. The
really
length of the
was.
reign, the belt, but it was still very good ending.
So that is night 1, gentlemen. And if you're keeping score at home, JJ, Nick, JJ has 4, I have 4, Megan has 4, and Nick has 3.
Yep. So
Yeah, it's
Nick
rough
falling behind. It's okay. This is not
But there's
unexpected.
a night 2. There's a night 2.
There is a night 2, and night 2 is where do things change? Do we?
They did for me.
Well, let's talk. Let's see about that. Okay, so night 2 starts off with. At night 1, they had like whoever, some guitarist from I can't remember who.
The Alice Cooper guitarist.
That's right, Alice Cooper guitarist.
I
something
forget her
Stratus.
name. She's
Lita
good, though.
Stratus.
She's
Yeah,
really good.
Lita Stratus. Lita Strauss. I apologize if
Something
Yeah,
like that,
I think it's
yeah.
Lee Strauss.
but Lita Strauss. But she
She's a
did the
beast.
national anthem. Night 2 was a little more contemporary with Poppy performing. Just
her new song, and it sounded really good.
It
It did sound
sounded
good.
really good. If you're not into metal or whatever, you probably couldn't stand it. But metal guys here, was great. So starting up Poppy, which by the way, there are official Poppy NXT Stand Deliver shirts available now. WWE is not missing a chance to rake in on celebrity merch. Period.
I might end up buying that shirt, even though I've not bought a WWE shirt in a long time.
I'd be okay with that. Bad Bunny, I would have to chastise you, but
He's
this,
Bad Bunny.
God damn it! Why'd I do that?
Man, you know what? You got me thinking back. I remember a Journey Pro show we went to. There was a guy rocking a Poppy tee.
Yeah. Shout out
Hashtag
Journey
we miss
Pro.
you. Yeah, we miss you, Journey Pro.
All right. So Poppy started off, and then the wrestling started off. Now, I'm going to give you a quick spoiler alert. Night 2 was unbelievable, okay? And we're going to give rankings at the very end of this. We're going to do a nightly and an overall ranking, right, for TakeOver. Spoiler, Night 2 was bomb fire. So it starts with the
I love that you guys liked it so much.
Did you not?
You didn't?
I'm gonna shit all over it.
That feels
Okay. Well, that is par for the course. That's okay. So, all right. So 2/3 of us love this, and it started off with some good love. Escobar, Santos Escobar, Jordan Devlin, the cruiserweight title unification ladder match. Long names. Stop with the long names. Anyway, so this started off here, and here, okay. Overall, I thought this match was fantastic, but it did. I think that the expectation with ladder matches has gotten to a fever pitch. Mm-hmm. We remember TakeOver New Orleans, that the North American title inaugural ladder match, which was one of my favorite ladder matches ever. Let's just say that, where Adam Cole won. And you do these multiple person ladder matches are just spot fest, especially in NXT all over the place, right? I think that builds an unfair expectation, because when you get back to a traditional ladder match, 2 men, like the original Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon ladder match, it feels like something's missing, although the spots were great. So it's kind of a push and pull. But regardless, there is a ladder match on WrestleMania week, WrestleMania season, whatever you want to call this. So this was it. Started off with Jordan Devlin going bonkers, and then it goes to Santos, and they kind of take turns going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Santos is really at the first third of the match. This is one thing that I will say, and this might be what Nick's getting at. Santos was really dragging the pace out. He was doing a lot of jarring, and it's just kind of like, okay, get to the actual wrestling or climb the ladder. Don't do this. I know you can. We saw you against Karrion Kross 4 weeks ago. We know you can do this. Go. But anywho,
hold on. Before you go on, we forgot to tell everybody our picks. So yes.
Sorry, my bad.
JJ and Nick pick Escobar, and House Faulkner picked Devlin. So it was completely another split.
We're 50-50 once again. So me and Nick are trying to get that Mexican love, while Faulkners are keeping it over there in the British Isles with I know it's Iron, but
he's Irish. He's Irish.
Whatever.
Let's go.
Okay. So okay, it starts to pick up about halfway through the match. A standing Spanish fly, which everybody knows JJ loves him some Spanish flies.
That was a beautiful Spanish fly. Cameron Grimes only wish he could do one that pretty.
It was Jordan Devlin. Well, it was smaller men, yeah. But Jordan Devlin did a standing Spanish fly, looked fantastic. Legado del Fantasma does eventually come out like everybody saw coming. They jumped Devlin a little bit. Doesn't matter. And then there's another Spanish fly, this time off of 2 ladders. So it's a typical thing where one guy puts the ladder up, and it's definitely not directly under the belts. So there's no way he's going to get them, right? And then here comes the other guy and puts the ladder right up next to it. So he goes up the ladder, and from 3/4 of the way up the ladder, he then does a Spanish fly. That looked so good. So damn good. I don't have a ton of experience seeing Devlin. I'll be honest with you. For a lot of time, I just kind of zone out or just go to the bathroom or whatever during the cruiserweight match. But he's got skill. Escobar eventually, though, They get kind of on either side of the ladder, and Escobar headbutts him. He goes back through a trick ladder, which snaps in half over in the corner because it's been set up in the corner. Escobar goes up, retrieves the titles. He is your undisputed cruiserweight champion. And then a very nice moment. He goes up to the ramp with Legado, and his kid comes out, 9-year-old kid. He gives him one of the belts, and he has the other belt. That was a nice little moment. Didn't fit his character for shit, but it was a nice moment.
Yeah, like I wanted to boo him at that point because he's supposed to be a bad guy,
right?
And he brings his kid out. I'm like, that's a dick move. That is a dick move. Ultimate heel move. I can't boo you now. Like that.
He puts his lucha mask on the kid and gives him one of the belts, and they're both holding it up. And you're like, that's adorable. Jesus Christ.
It's like, I can't boo you right now, asshole.
So we can. Nick, you want to start tearing this apart, or do you want to wait?
You know what? I was going to, but you started off by kind of throwing water on my fire with what you said about ladder matches. I think you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I was. Now, look, admittedly,
Okay.
I had just watched Godzilla versus Kong, so I was kind of brawled out by the time I got to watching the pay-per-view. But honestly, the Spanish Flies were fantastic. The one move, though, that kind of made me just like as it was happening was when Jordan Devlin did the moonsault off the top of the ladder.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I was really waiting for that to end badly.
Yeah.
It
That
just looked
was
really
a-
scary as it was happening, and he did well. But
That
there really and truly, there wasn't anything wrong with the match. It was just I was just kind of bored with it. That's all. But that could entirely be me.
Well, I think that there were, like I said, and to be honest with you, if you're going to start the show with that, I'm fine with that because, like I
Sure.
said,
Good point.
Jamie talked about this, about pacing of a show, right? The whole building it up. So it's not bad, And they keep that thing going on the next match with the women's tag team title match, which was Shotzi.
Yeah, pretty much. Sure, Shotzi Moon.
Pretty much, that's what it says. Shotzi
Sailor Moon. It's like Sailor Moon.
and Candace
Shotzi Blackheart and I'm sorry. Maybe I need another beer. Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, The Way. So on this, we're 50-50. So myself and Ninth Wonder Nick over there chose Candice and Indy, whereas the Faulkners together chose Shotzi and Ember Moon. So this was okay. As much as I wanted this to be a banger match, this is the third time we've seen them in 6 weeks.
6 weeks, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, because they faced off in the Dusty Cup Classic, and then they faced off right after the Dusty Cup Classic, and then they might have even faced off before the Dusty Cup. And then we see him. So, it's obvious that The Way was going to be the contenders for the title. I think that Candice LeRae is definitely deserving of having a belt, but as far as these four matching up, I mean, we have seen it before. So this match lost a little bit of its luster because of that, in my opinion.
I agree.
Now, Candice LeRae did come out with a great ring attire. Indy was okay. It ends up being that The Way actually met. There's a print that's part of that they have released. It's them as like mock Avengers, where Candice is Thor and Indy is Black Widow. So they had attire that kind of simulated that, and that's cute and all. But they started off hot. Indy looked really good. Once again, showing that power game. Beth Phoenix even made mention of it. Exactly what I said last week when I was hyping her up. She said the same thing. So thanks for stealing my line, Beth. That's great. But the move of the match, unfortunately, was a almost critical botch. So.
Oh God, yes. Oh my god!
Took
It
me a
scared
second
the
to
shit
remember,
out of me.
but yeah, I know what you're
It
talking
scared
about.
the living shit out of me when I saw it.
The camera
bad.
wouldn't even go back to look at it. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Like the
Now-
camera, like it happened over here, and the camera stayed over here until
It
you
was-
could tell they sorted everything out.
Yeah, they're like, nah, dog, nah, we ain't showing you nothing, man.
So settle down, everybody listening. 'cause
Sorry.
No, not you. You're fine.
Okay.
Everybody listening, everybody's fine. But what happened was the way was outside, and Ember goes up on the second rope and kind of opens the ropes up so that Shotzi can do a tope suicida, through the ropes, right? Well, she does, and the tope looks fine, but her aim is off. She is like, here's Indy. Here's Candace, and where my nose is where Shotzi ended up going. And both of them put Indy and Candace. You could see on the replay when they finally showed it. They put their arm up, obviously, because they're like, "Oh shit, she's gonna crack her skull and die," So they pulled her up, and they did just enough of them trying to like sell and also help her that she spun a little bit and didn't go, neck head first into the unmovable barricade. She kind of like rolled up, but it looked, from the first view, it looked bad.
Yeah, because I thought so it looked like the way should have been closer together, even if they were right by each
should've.
other.
They really should have.
They should have. Even if they did, though, she was so effing high. She was over Indy's head. Like they would like. Poor Candice LeRae is 5'0", so she's like jumping like I gotta get you. Like no, it's just nothing. Like it, yeah.
Like they putting their arms up was just enough to tilt her a little bit, but she was not lined up at all correct. Now, if this would have been another promotion, there's somebody who does go that high and fast, but they end up on top of the barricade or on the other side. Talking about Ray Phoenix, for those of you who don't know. That's a little different because here you have a firm, unmovable or not, like loose barricade and a wall above it with the fence, the chain link fence with plexiglass. So yeah, it was the move of the night. Unfortunately, move of the match was a botch, but she's okay. She ended up being okay. And then that led to they get back in the ring, and eventually, flurry of tags back and forth. Ember gets tagged and does a double eclipse. Not really, but she does a double eclipse on because it's like you have Candice LeRae and then Indy's behind her, and she has eclipse on both of them. Really, just on Candice, but that and then senton from Shotzi. Ember and Shotzi retain and win, and Candice LeRae has still not held a championship in NXT.
Let's go.
So that gives for the night, and we'll give you running totals at the end here, but that gives for the night, everybody's at 1. Everybody's at 1, and you see down below on our little ticker there, you see the grand totals listed out. But for the night, everybody's got 1, right? Okay, so we go from that side of the Gargano family. Did you guys want to say anything else about the match?
It was okay.
It was, like I said, it was of all the matches tonight. This was probably
out of the whole thing. This was probably the dud of all of them, and it wasn't necessarily a dud. It was okay.
It was just okay, but
It
it was
was
also
something
like
you'd see any other night.
we have seen it, like we said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we go
Should
from
have been on WrestleMania.
we go
Yeah.
to we're not going there. It was very much so we're going from very much one side of the Gargano household to the other, because coming up next we have Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny freaking Takeover versus Bronson Reed, our favorite thick boy. I'm sorry, the Colossal thing's cool, but you're always thick boy in my heart. Now, for this, myself, Nick, and Jamie, we all chose Johnny Gargano to win regardless, because we didn't know the winner of the Gauntlet ahead of time. It was basically Johnny versus the field, and Megan chose whoever won the Gauntlet to be, the winner of this match. So Johnny comes out in a full Iron Man regalia with a little like the way arc reactor thing, which is kind of cool looking.
It was really cool looking.
So there's that, and this one gets going. So on paper, you're looking at this and you're thinking, well, Bronson Reed is, 6'4", 330 or something stupid like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny Gargano's like 5'3" and God knows how much, or 5'6" and yeah. No
20.
way in hell. Yeah, soaking wet. Yeah, no way, right? Well, what did we say earlier? You got a big behemoth, you have to target, and the guy's got to sell. So Bronson starts off hot on Johnny, as is expected, and they eventually get outside, where Johnny does a kind of reversal turn thing and throws him into the announce table, into the side of his rib, over in his, close to his, liver area or whatever.
Yeah, right in the corner. Like the corner of the announce table just went right in there. Like,
yeah. Oh, the table didn't move a centimeter. It just was. It was not the Tony Storm throwing John Cena table. It didn't move at all. Mm-hmm. So that sets it up. So Johnny, being the technical master that he is, goes back, attacks that throughout the match.
And Bronson Reed sold the shit out of it too, man. I gotta give him props.
He's good. You gotta be impressed with Bronson. The night before, he looked great. He looked just as good tonight. There were times where you had no idea who was going to win this match. If you came in with a preconceived notion, like I did, that Johnny's winning regardless, you're sitting there thinking, God, I should have picked against Johnny. There's no way he's going to beat this guy, right? And there's other times he sold it great. And the moves that Johnny did, which when you have a big guy, if you don't know, they're assisting in some of the moves. He did a reverse spike Rana on Bronson Reed.
Yes.
Some stuff that is like, that's not possible. How did he do that? So, in the end, Bronson Reed got a little overzealous, went up to the top rope, tried for a moonsault. They actually did a moonsault, but it missed because Johnny rolled out of the way. That actually was cool as hell. I'm not going to lie.
Agreed.
And that led to a one final beat, followed by another one final beat. The little DDT he does from outside to in. Johnny Gargano wins and retains. So all three of us pick up the W on that.
Oh, and Megan is trailing the reigning defending NXT champion.
I just don't want to spoil it, but Megan didn't have a good night. Let's just say that.
She did
Take
not.
that, Megan. Take that. Checking your belt. Checking your belt.
It's not going far now.
So the next match we get into here, so we have co-main events. And the next one was... This was the one that I don't say surprised me, but kind of the way they did it, it was not the way I was expecting it. It was Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. For a quick update, all four of us chose Karrion Kross. So we're all like, no way Finn's retaining, right? Karrion Kross comes out, stellar entrance as always, with his he's got a little Spartacus gear going on, a little gladiator thing. So we're all thinking, hey, it's going to be Spartacus versus the Demon, right? Because one of the three of us you're watching on this screen here freaking tweets out, the Demon's back! And he wasn't. It was just regular Finn Balor with a giant red X on him. But
then 2.2 seconds later, 2.2 seconds later,
oh
shit,
and I
my
got
bad.
so excited.
Yeah. 1.2 second later, I said, no spoilers, asshole. And he's like, oh, shit, my bad. So, thanks, Nick.
My bad.
We got
I
to do
heard
something.
that music, and I was like, oh, here we go. And then, no.
Well, they teased it. They did tease it. 'Cause they had a little video package of all black and white photos, and the last one they put up there was an extra big one of him as the Demon. So I get it. Still, though, Jamie, we gotta do something about our young boy. I think we need to work on this. So,
yes, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out young Nicholas.
This match felt like a prize fight. Okay.
Yeah.
It felt like, and one of the things that analogy that I actually wrote down here because I was going there. It's like when you go to a concert, you go to a concert of a really big band. You're going to go see, I don't know, Foo Fighters or Metallica or give me a hip hop person that's really big. I don't listen to hip hop.
DMX.
So, rest in peace. but
I
somebody
had to.
big. I don't know, Jay-Z or Beyonce. You go to like that's who you go to see, right? But before that, you have all the shows. So you start off, you have like a local talent, then you have a couple like smaller area local bands, some up and comers. Then you get to the that's what this fight felt like. Beyonce, Jay-Z, Metallica, DMX. This felt like the real effing deal because these two did not play. It was just straight intensity, hard shots from the start. They just went back and forth. I think that nobody had really a sustained moment or sustained like thing for too long. It would go Finn for a little bit, and then Karrion would reverse, and he'd go for a little bit. And then Finn would reverse, and he'd go for a little bit. And just back, forth, back, forth. Another interesting note, in total, there were 2 pinfall attempts this match. One of them was for the win at the end. 2 for the entire match.
Interesting.
It was. And I got about halfway in, and I go, I haven't seen a pinfall yet. I'm going to start counting. And I got up to 2.
Wow.
And if you think about it, it's one of those, it goes into that, the whole prize fire mentality. I know I'm not going to beat him yet. He's not beat up enough. Either guy. I'm not going to waste my time going for a pinfall. I'm going to do another move on him. Finn targeted Karrion's hand at first, and then eventually he did like the whole like liver kick, which he did on Kyle O'Reilly, which popped his spleen or whatever, made him cough blood. I don't remember what it was, but he did a similar thing where he came for the liver. So then now the rest of the match, Finn was focused on his midsection, his ribs, his liver, kind of going to that. And Karrion, once again, just like with Bronson Reed, any big person selling something, Karrion sold the liver. Fantastic. So good.
Yeah, he made me
So
go buy
good.
some fava beans and a nice Chianti because he sold that liver so hard.
It's a stellar reference. So
Thank you.
they keep going. Like I said, there was 2 pinfall attempts. I'm going to get right to it, okay? Finn had 1 pinfall attempt to start with. Near the end, Karrion kicks out of it, and that just enrages him in some bit. And then he goes into extra mode. He eventually does the Doomsday Saito. That's that wicked suplex we were talking about a few weeks back. What was that called? Doomsday Saito. That's a fantastic name, and it's a good-looking move. But that's not his finisher, unfortunately, because he then followed it up with 2. They were actually really sick-looking forearm shivers. So he does a little like forearm to the back of the neck thing once, and then again. Pin 1, 2, 3. Karrion Kross is your undefeated 2-time NXT champion. Yes, I said that right.
Yep, he's never lost. He's our new Goldberg.
Only Karrion. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. So this was a fantastic appetizer for what comes. What did you guys think of this match as a whole, though?
It surprised the shit out of me, just like you said. I enjoyed this match. It was brutal, and I kind of do like a good brutal match, but like I say that. Then there's the next match.
And we're gonna turn it up to 11 coming soon.
Yeah, like Spinal Tap straight up showed up. But no, I enjoyed the hell out of it. We all knew Karrion Kross was gonna win.
We all get the point.
I feel like this is the last time we're gonna see Finn Balor in an NXT ring for a while. I think he's gonna get called back up because the fans love him. So we'll see.
We'll see about that. I hope not. I mean, his character has been so much better. The whole like dark Finn. I don't like the whole Prince thing because they're trying to like connect him. It's like when they did Balor Club. They're trying to connect him to an old gimmick that they don't have the rights to use, and it's just like, just stop, But whatever. Nick, what'd you think of this match?
Apparently, I need to watch it again.
That's okay. You can have a different
I will say
opinion.
this.
It's fine.
I will say this right off the bat. I am biased against Karrion Kross. I don't dislike him as he just bores the hell out of me. I
Okay.
I don't know quite how to articulate it at this time. Like I will go back and watch this match again because the way you two just described it sounds like I should have enjoyed it, but he bores me, and
Okay. Well,
it's nothing personal. I just I don't know. I watch him and I'm just ready for it to be over. So, I'll give
he's
it
not
another
your cup
go.
of tea. That's fine.
I'll give it another
Okay.
go.
I mean, he's a badass finisher away from being the perfect big man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he can do that Doomsday Saito be the finisher if he does it like a little more vicious or a little more, maybe a little more rotation on it or something. Or I think he's good doing a choke out, because he does such a good choke out. Just have him choke people out. I mean, that's a prize fighter mentality there. It's like, that's what Samoa Joe, remember, that's like old school Samoa Joe, like TNA, a Ring of Honor Samoa Joe used to be like, he didn't give an F about a pin. He'd do the muscle buster on you and then put in the clutch to get to put you to sleep because he just didn't care about pinning. That's a bad man when you have that. So
Transmission.
So, all right. That leads us into the finale of NXT TakeOver Deliver or Stand and Deliver because this match was the finale of so much. So, unsanctioned match between Adam Cole, Bebe, and Kyle O'Reilly. Quick little look. We had myself and Jamie both chose Kyle O'Reilly. Nick and Megan chose Adam Cole. For the night so far, we have Megan with just 2 points. We have Jamie, myself, and Nick all with 3 points. So Nick really needs to stay in the game. Me and Jamie are tied and currently still tied if this goes either way. So can Jamie make this a 3-man tie or is it going to be, we'll see. So starts off unsanctioned match. So you get the ref in the black shirt. All these security guards come out. Kyle comes out first. Adam comes out with new music. It's not the Undisputed Era music for Adam Cole. Had the same like guitar riff of the Undisputed Era music, which is a very similar riff to what he had in his old Ring of Honor music, but there was no boom. He did the Adam Cole just randomly by himself. It felt, my heart missed a beat. That sucked. But the match got going, and if you thought they were going to ease their way into this, boy, were you mistaken. This is a fantastic payoff. Now, we said that they're building up this whole emotional thing, and last week they had this whole expose thing, the typical WWE thing of recap, whatever. The point is, though, this is a great culmination to a feud. It very much is fitting being the second unsanctioned match in NXT because it had a very similar setup and feel to the other unsanctioned match, which was Ciampa and Gargano from TakeOver New Orleans, I think. So they just get right to it from the start. So they get us outside and start pulling chairs out right away too. Like 3 minutes into the match, fuck it, the chairs coming out. Cole pulls a bunch of chairs out. A few of them have the Undisputed Era logo spray painted on them. That's
Which
a nice
I loved.
touch.
I love that. That was a nice touch.
That's a nice touch. And then Cole starts focusing on Kyle O'Reilly's neck because technically he's not cleared medically, which is bullshit. But technically, that's why it's unsanctioned. So he starts focusing on the neck. And he starts doing some sick spots on the neck that made me just go, ooh, that's too far, Like 5-10 minutes into the match. This was every second of a 45-50 minute match. I don't know how long exactly, but it was not a short match. So there was a lot to take in. And I'm not going to go through every single thing as it happened here. I'm just going to highlight some stuff and we're going to pass it around a little bit. So chain came into play then. Adam Cole took the chain. And it had a carabiner on either end, right? So he clips it around, loops it and clips it around the top of one of the ropes, right? And then they're using it back and forth. And at one point, Kyle goes to go off the rope and come back with a lariat. And Cole just grabs the chain and falls back and straightens it out. And Kyle takes a nasty clothesline by a steel chain. Looked great.
Yeah, it caught his ear. Like if you notice, he like grabbed his ear right afterwards because it actually got his ear.
It got a little
cool.
higher than it should have. I think it looked great though. Kyle does a brainbuster to Cole on the announce table, which once again did not move, did not break, didn't budge a single inch. It was firm. It was firm and stiff. Then after that, this is great. Cole kind of goes to the outside area.
We're triggered. It's fine. Move on.
You
Dude, you know what I'm really laughing at? What I'm really laughing at is watching Jamie try to contain a laugh.
dirty old man, you. Look at you.
He almost did it.
Twisting
He
my
almost
words
did it.
around, you perverts.
Hey,
All right.
you know what? Just continue with your firm, stiff self. All right.
Firm, stiff, and dirty. It was so firm and stiff. Oh my god! It just made me want to explode. It was so firm and stiff. So, so Cole ends up kind of going through the little opening there, right? And then Kyle O'Reilly follows him, and Cole just whops him in the face with a 40-inch like flat screen TV. Just boom! Here's a TV in your face.
Right, the kisser.
It would be nice if the TV would have shattered or whatever, but whatever. That looked funny as hell. And then they just kept going to it. They kept going at each other. Cole, at one point in time, they get to the other side of the ring, and Cole does a brain buster on the steel steps again on O'Reilly. It looked even more brutal than the original one, which legitimately hurt him, you know? Mm-hmm. And then, so again in the ring, Cole has one of the Undisputed Era chairs that kind of wedges his neck in there so that, you know, Kyle's in there with the neck. And he goes and grabs another chair. He's going to do a concerto with O'Reilly inside of the steel chair, which even me and my, you know, sadist sensibility about wrestling is like, that's a bit much because you're going to legitimately, like, snap a vertebrae or something, right? That's too far. And
$1
the ref...
million baby.
The ref felt the same way. $1 million baby. The ref felt the same
Not
way.
as good as Silence the Lambs, but you know, I try.
Well, you just said the name of a movie. You didn't really, you know, like do a witty quote like Jamie does. But that's okay, young boy. We'll get you there.
I'll work on it.
We'll get you there, Nicholas.
So the ref is trying to talk sense into him because technically ref is only there to count three or administer a submission, you know, victory. But he's trying to talk sense into Cole. Cole, come on, stop it. That's too far. That's too far. That doesn't sit well with Cole because Cole then just, you know, beats the crap out of him. And then, of course, O'Reilly's gotten out of the chair. He hits a move. Then Cole hits several moves on him. And then... where was it?
Including a Shining Wizard.
That's what it was. It was ended up being a Shining Wizard he was sitting in a chair. He did a Shining Wizard onto him with into a pile of chairs, basically. So, which, funny enough, after the ref got cold cocked and knocked out, the crowd started chanting, "You deserve it." I miss live crowds at NXT. I really do. So he goes to pin him, gets like a 6 count, but there's no ref. So this makes Cole mad. He goes over to the ref and is saying, "You had one job. Why aren't you doing your job?" You know, like very much like Happy Gilmore, get in your hole. And I'm like, you just knocked him out, idiot. Anyway, it gives Kyle a chance to revive himself, and revive himself he does. So he ends up going for a submission to Cole up on the ramp, right? So he's got him locked in like a
guillotine.
Kind of a guillotine sort of thing. Guillotine, thank you. And Cole, you know, musters himself to get standing up and starts taking 3 or 4 steps and then dive bombs, and they go right through the center of one of the metal grates, right through the center of the ramp, straight through it all the way down to the floor. Looked good. It wasn't nearly as impressive if you see how the fall. It was like 3 feet. But it looked cool. And then Cole gets out. He goes to the side of the ramp and starts kicking out and punching out the drywall, and then just drags O'Reilly out of the side. That I thought was cooler than
that was my
actual
favorite part of that whole setup.
Right,
Same.
Because you could see him immediately in the hole. They were like barely below the surface, so it didn't. It wasn't that impressive. But when he just destroyed and just ripped him out of the ramp, that was cool.
Get in the hole.
In the hole. And then Cole does another brain buster on the steel steps after that, because we're just and at this point, O'Reilly can barely stand. He's like punch drunk, just all over the place. He sets him up to go for a last shot, and he just falls over before he can even get there. Eventually, he does do a last shot on him, and he kicks out, just barely. I say kick out. That's not the right term, because he just only muscle in his entire body that moves is one shoulder, just goes boop, and no fall. So he's enraged more. He grabs the pliers, and and then those get knocked away somehow by O'Reilly, and then he's going for this and then going for that, and and then O'Reilly does the last eventually turns it around, does a last shot on Adam Cole. Do your opponent's move on them.
Love it.
Fuck yes. Just like what happened in the last unsanctioned match as well, I must say. So it had the exact same feel of that Gargano Ciampa match. It really did, which is not a bad thing because they've only had 2. If this happened every other takeover, I'd be pissed, because it's the same thing every time, right? But it's not. It's been 3 or 4 whatever years. It's fine. So eventually, it got to the point that Cole set up a chair like feet side up, right? So facing downward, basically, with the feet facing a corner. And he's going to do some sort of move or spot of O'Reilly, basically impale him on this chair is what the insinuation was, right? O'Reilly somehow manages to beat it enough to knock Cole off. Cole kind of lands in the middle of the chair, in between the feet. And then he's on the side where that chain is still attached to the rope. So he grabs it and wraps the other end around and clamps it down with the carabiner, and then does a knee onto the back of Cole's neck, onto the chair, destroys the chair, gets the pinfall. Kyle O'Reilly is your winner. Wow. There was a lot to take in.
Yeah, this match was brutal.
It was more than I expected. I'm not going to lie.
It
my
had
expectation
a lot
was
of emotion. It had everything I thought I wanted in a match and didn't know I needed in a match.
No tables. Not one table, too.
Not one table, which I appreciate.
I don't count the announced table, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like it was just so damn just I'm lack of words, like visceral.
The way it was, without blood. There was hardly any. I mean, there might have been a little cut at the end.
There's a cut on the hand.
Yeah, I think when he went through like the ramp, or when he opened up the side to get but there was no blood, but it was visceral in like a very like emotional way. I think it's because of the way that Undisputed Era was. Everybody was so in tune with them, and because of that, you felt something extra when they just obliterated each other, and the spots were nonstop. They were hard and stiff from the start. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm sorry. No, but they were strong spots from the start. I've never seen a chain used as effectively, honestly, ever. It's usually always just botched. They never do anything well. They did a clothesline with a chain, wrapped it up around his arm, and then they tried to do an arm breaker at one point. So kudos to both of them. I thought it was great. Nick, did you not like this match also, or were you in?
I honestly didn't. I'm not a big fan of Kyle O'Reilly though. I love Adam Cole.
Okay.
That stupid little chicken dance, whatever he does, he looks like he's having a seizure while he's on his way out to the ring. I can't stand it. It annoys the hell out of me. Worse than Cameron Grimes. That's how bad it annoys me.
Wow.
You're gonna
You
hate
learn
what
something
I'm
new
about
every
to
day.
say. You're gonna hate what I'm about to say.
Add to the
thought
list.
that the outside, yes, outside of the clothesline, I thought that the chain was a useless prop. They would wrap it and then they would like love tap each other with it. It drove me nuts. It was too long for me.
Okay. I can understand that. It was a long match.
And like I said, I love Adam Cole and I like my heels. I don't like Kyle O'Reilly, and he won. So I didn't enjoy it for all those reasons.
Well,
I will go back and watch it again, though, because I know you guys, sounds like you really enjoyed it. So I'm probably just, I need to watch it again.
well, I say, go ahead.
Okay, one of the things that really stood out for me with this match was like the storytelling of it. There was a moment where both of them were sitting in chairs. I think this is like at minute like 426 of this.
It's about halfway through.
Yeah, but they're sitting there, and Adam Cole just kept going, "I hate you, I hate you, I hate you," and you did this and all this stuff. I'm like, Jesus, like that is just great storytelling. Just seeing the raw emotion and them really playing into the characters of how they hate each other was just like, you don't see that very often, especially on the main roster. You never see that kind of stuff, but this one had that, like your best friend just, stabbed you in the back, and yeah, like it resonated with me at a whole different level than I was expecting, and I enjoyed it just from that storytelling moment alone.
I would say this. Definitely go back and watch the Finn Balor match again. Get another look. But if you didn't like this, that's fine. You don't have to like everything that everyone else likes.
Spoiled is what it is.
I mean, I will ask you this though. Just one final question about it, Nick. Did you enjoy the Ciampa Gargano Unsanctioned match?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
To me, that's the high watermark.
Because to be honest, this was practically the same match.
I know. And
It's just the people in it were different. So if you don't like the people or half the people in it, I get that. I can completely understand, because in a way it gives you two flavors. It's like here's your chocolate fudge and here's your chocolate brownie. They're both chocolate, so you're good. But if you like fudge but not brownies, so that's my thought.
It's a good point.
If you are keeping score down below, you will see we have two ties. One tie for last place, Megan, no longer the champion anymore, with our young boy Nick. So bye-bye, Nick. And Jamie and myself tied. Does this mean that we are no longer the 0-time tag team champs? Are we now the one, as our intro says, are we now the 1-time tag team champs?
Maybe.
No. But no,
we
are not. We can't do that. We cannot do that. So we had a tiebreaker set up. Now, we didn't set this up ahead of time because us in our arrogance thought, there's not going to be a tie. There was two ties. So our tiebreaker was, and for those of you listening, we recorded this Friday night, late Friday night, after JJ's been drinking and Jamie's been out watching preteen softball all night. And
it wasn't preteen; they're teens.
Oh, they are teens now. What?
Yes.
JJ's been drinking, like he said. So, and Lord knows what Nick's been doing. So we came up with the ideas. Okay, so Friday night, Mania's coming up this weekend, but SmackDown's on Friday night, and they have some interesting matches that could play into it. So we'll give you the review about it. We'll talk about it briefly because it doesn't deserve much. But our decision was we're each going to pick a man that's in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Each of us pick a man, and if that pick doesn't win, neither of our picks win. Excuse me. whoever lasts the longest, that'll determine the winner. So we both had first choice of Shinsuke Nakamura. that didn't work. So then we both said Jey Uso, and that didn't work. 'Cause it's the same person.
There you go.
So I said Ricochet because I believe Ricochet would last longer. He's good in those type of matches. Jamie Faulkner said Baron Corbin, King Corbin, because
Corbin.
he's won the Battle Royal under Jordan. He does well. They both do one of those type of matches. We both were not wrong. At the Final Four, they were two of them, but one of them eliminated the other. And your champion is Jamie Faulkner.
That's right. That's right.
Jamie Faulkner.
The belt doesn't
stays
leave
in the house.
There it is. There's my belt. There's my belt.
Well, your belt's technically at your house. Nick's got a spare. But
I'll swing
No,
by.
Nick actually has NXT belts, even though they should be ours, but it's fine.
yeah.
So I am no longer
Run it by.
I'm no longer talking to you as the advocate for the reigning, defending NXT champion. I am the reigning, defending
Undisputed.
NXT champion.
Keep forgetting undisputed. He always does undisputed in there. All right. So, maybe you are disputed because I did tie you. You want me on technicality, you son of a bitch. Anyway, we'll be doing this. You see, Jamie's got the little moniker now over. He's over this way. I don't know wherever the hell he is. He's got the little moniker on his name there. So he is your NXT champion until the next takeover. Where we'll do this again. We'll do this again for another belt. Coming up here. So WrestleMania, you should see it right next to the TakeOver review here. We doing nights 1 and 2 of WrestleMania. Please give that a listen too. If you enjoyed this review, give it a like. Please give a subscribe if you want. We'll take any comments. Did you guys like TakeOver? Did you think that the matches were great? We're going to give our reviews here in just a second, but give us a thought down below. Let us know what you thought. So let's get into the final bit before we sign off here. That's rankings. So I want a night 1 ranking of our system, a night 2 ranking, gentlemen, and then an overall, what did TakeOver? Did it stand and deliver? What is your overall ranking? And Jamie, why don't you go first, Mr. Champion? Or should the champion go last?
You know what? I'll go first. Champion should go first.
Okay. All right. I was going to
So night 1.
champion's choice.
Yes, champion's choice. Night 1, Spotfest. It was
Okay.
good. Night 2, total Spotfest.
Ooh, the 5 all the way. As a reminder, we don't go above or below our rankings. It's either a 1 to 5, period. There's no 6, 7 bullshit. There's no, it's got a 0. That's it. So you're putting it right at the top.
Yeah, the night 2 was amazing.
Okay.
Overall,
Would you average out as then?
Overall, I give it as Spotfest.
Okay. So okay. So night 1 seemed to weigh it down just a little bit to get it back to a 4 because it could have gone either way there if you think about it. If you have a 4 and a 5. So okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go next here because it's very similar. I gave night 1 a Spotfest. I gave night 2 a total Spotfest, and I only did that because of the last match. I wasn't going to give it a total Spotfest overall for night 2, but that last match just really drove me in and really sold me. So that bumped it up. So 4 and a 5, and I as well said it's a Spotfest as a pay-per-view altogether. I think that even with that, I don't think it's not at that. It's not that. And I look at NXT. I think about NXT New Orleans. That pay-per-view was, or like Brooklyn 1. Those are the standard bearer. This didn't quite get to it, but it was overall fantastic in my opinion. Nick, what about your opinion?
Night 1 was a total Spotfest for me.
Oh, okay.
All 5, and I never give those out. Night
Yeah.
1,
No.
I was
You're
going.
shy.
I was going.
I'm pretty
down
shy
the-
on those too, but you are very shy on those.
I
so.
am. I'm reserved. Night 1. I mean, I just looked at the match lineup. Every single one of them was awesome. So that's why they get the 5 stars. Night 2, Sorry, fellas. I gave it a snooze fest. I was bored as hell. I was
okay,
bored as
okay.
hell the entire night.
It's okay. It's okay, Jamie. It's okay. So you're wildly different here. You got a 4 and a 2. You got a 5 and a 2. Where'd you end up overall then?
Squash, I suppose.
So right in the middle there, Squash Fest. Right in the middle, run of the mill average. Plain old takeover for
No,
Nick. So.
no, that's not fair. Spotfest.
No, it is fair. It's whatever you decide. Overall, what was
I
the
think
total?
I think Spotfest is.
You
better.
think night 1 brought it up enough to bring it up to a 4? Okay.
Yes, and I do
Your
intend
ranking.
to go back and rewatch night 2 because I possibly was not in the correct mindset.
Well, that can happen. So
That's probably a great opportunity. That's an accurate statement.
all right. Well,
Just knowing the climate.
hey, I'm you're entitled to your opinion. It is what it is. You can have strong. As we said before earlier tonight, you can have strong opinions, and we all have strong opinions.
Well, it's like I always say, I have no consistency, I have no credibility, but I do have opinions.
Damn, Skippy.
He is consistently inconsistent. I will give him that. So, thank you guys for listening. We do appreciate it. Like I said, join us for our WrestleMania podcast as well. That was released today. Should be right next to this one. And then later this week, we'll be back on Tuesday with our post takeover in Mania. What happened? Is there any news about EO? Do we know what's going on? We'll let you guys know on Tuesday, and then we'll get back into the swing of things with our AEW review this Thursday. Then we'll talk a little bit more on Tuesday about what we're going to be doing moving forward. But thank you for listening. I truly thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed Takeover. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. If you did, like I said, give us a comment below. Give us a shout on Twitter. Twitter's down below. Congratulate the new champion over there. So, Nick, why don't you say some nice things to the peoples before we leave?
I hope you enjoyed the last 2 nights because guess what? Fun's over. It's WrestleMania time.
It's WrestleMania season. Let's save the sourness for the next video. We'll see what happens. All right, Jamie, why don't you take us home?
All right. Well, I think everybody knows what I'm going to say. If you're not down with TSL, I got 4 words for you. The champ is here.
Oh, I thought you were going to go, here comes the champ. Either way.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
I had Pete
am a
Dunne.
humble
I had
champion.
Pete Dunne. 15 minutes I stared at that match, and I had Pete Dunne like at least 4 times written down. All right.
I had Escobar like twice.
I
I decided to go with Devlin.
Congratulations. As long as it's not Megan.
Yes,
All
we
right.
have dethroned Brock Lesnar.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.
Peace.